Well, I've been listening to Questlove. I've been listening to his sets since he began. I appreciate D-Nice for encouraging him and getting the party started. One of the things that crossed my mind the other night as I was listening was, look at all of this positive hip-hop that he is playing that flies in the faces of the naysayers. Hey kid, your snack's ready. Your snack's ready there. So, I was, yes, enamored of the fact that he could play night after night, song after song, of so much positive hip-hop that flew in the face of the naysayers who suggest that hip-hop is somehow encouraging negative things. I hear people say things about certain people's lyrics and ascribe those lyrics to the totality of the hip-hop experience. And hip-hop is vast, just like every other type of music. So you're gonna get some songs that are squeaky clean and some songs that are dirty, 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 and everything in between. And you're gonna get a lot of love songs, and you're gonna get a lot of personal experience shit, yeah? Now, some of the personal experience shit that really, really freaked out the Karens, the Beckys. What's the male equivalent of a Karen, babe?
David.
The Davids. Give me another one. What's the male equivalent of Becky?
Jerry.
The Davids and the Jerrys, the Beckys, and the Karens were so upset that they made a cute little label that people just ended up, making a freaking template out of. For music that was, that self-explanatory music, that music that came out of personal experience, that music that was no more descriptive or dirty than any rock and roll or country or punk that had come out before it. They had to get mad at groups like NWA. They had to get mad at people like Dr. Dre for just speaking from personal experience or somebody's personal experience, just illustrating an experience that wasn't necessarily pretty. Who does that song? Do you want to party? It's party time. Now, the subject matter of that song is not so pretty. It's not pretty at all. It's not as straightforward as, Daddy goes in our room at night. He's got more than talking on his mind, But that's what it's about. Anyway, I digress, but I get back on track really easy because there is a point to all of this rambling, which is a rant wrapped in praise for Questlove sets because, oh my gosh, the man has been hitting it, and my man said tonight was the best yet because he got eclectic with it, and he felt good about it. He said, I feel like I finally found my tribe, people who understand that I can be, unexpected in what I'm doing. So, like I was saying, I don't need cookie cutter art. As a matter of fact, that's not my favorite shit. I don't thrive on that. And as an artist who is inspired, I'm inspired by other artists. I thrive on other artists. I took the opportunity to engrave, other artists into my skin to illustrate for me and for anyone who looks at me how much I'm influenced by artists who step outside of the box and go against the grain and tell their story regardless of people's, ability to digest it. They're just like, look, I got to do this. So I get it. I totally got NWA when my mother didn't get it. My mother, who was an awesome musician, a powerful singer, an effective orator. She was still a woman of her generation who couldn't stand any hip hop except for Arrested Development. Shout out to Toy Matthews. Look it up, please. Please look it up. So, as I was saying, my mother, the awesome musician, was not a fan of hip hop. She didn't understand her daughter spending some of the first money that she had to buy like a 2 Live Crew tape. She didn't understand that. She didn't understand NWA. I did. I got it. I appreciated it. I appreciated what Dr. Dre did with other people's beats. What I've always been able to appreciate through my mother's influence, being the awesome musician that she was, is that, that root, those musicians, that beat, that natural stuff, people taking their hands to things that other people are taking their hands to, is the foundation of all of that stuff. So while I really, really do appreciate a dope MC, like I appreciate the fuck out of a dope MC, because I don't know if you can tell or not, but I love to run my mouth. Far be it from me to not really, really get into and get off on the way someone else is extremely effective with their lips, their teeth, their tip of their tongue. I love it. But I don't necessarily want to listen to a dope MC all day without a fresh ass beat carrying that dope MC. And we all know that a fresh ass beat can be handled by many a dope MC. So, that music is everything. So I give credit where it's due is what I'm saying. I'm not going to give credit for playing the instruments that they remixed. I will give them credit for their clever ear and their gifted hands. Yeah? Speaking of those gifted hands, one thing that I didn't like that I found out about Dre is his penchant for putting his hands on females that he is in conflict with in relationships. We know this. He knows this. This is something that happens in people's households. People put hands on each other when they're upset about shit. And sometimes it's in a serial manner. Sometimes it has to do with people's issues and things that they grew up with. I know that Dre's got issues with women is what I'm saying. And I know that some of his fellows may also have issues with women. Some men have issues with women. Some men don't look at women as women. They look at women as what? Oh, bitches, hoes, tricks. Like that just becomes a bitch's name. She's not a woman. She's a bitch. That's a hoe. That's a trick. Right? Right. So speaking of Snoop and his big mouth and his fat fingers typing out some message to Ari Lennox about her hair. How did we get from there to here? All right. I'm on Twitter. I'm minding my damn business. I'm trying. I'm succeeding. No, we do or do not in this house. There is no try. I am succeeding in seeing the bright side of the tumult. The environment needs a break from our movements in our industry. That's a truth, whether we like it or not. You know what? Some handsy motherfucking people need to keep their goddamn distance. That's a truth. You know what? Our hygiene and our medical system, these are things that we need to address. Yeah? These are facts. There's good coming out of this, damn it. Whether we like it or not. There's positive and negative situations. There's solutions right behind the problem. Okay, so speaking of problems, I see a problem. I see a problem with people being comfortable with criticizing black females for choosing, period. Period! Is it okay if I speak on my personal experience, Snoop, because I don't try to speak about a black man's experience from the perspective of being a black man. All I know about black men is that they are human beings like everyone else and worthy like everyone else. So there are men who feel like they're supposed to be able to tell women what to fucking do. And that shit is primitive to me. Now, speaking of bitches and hoes and tricks like me, who don't know you, who the fuck are you to roll up on this woman's space and talk to her about her choices? See, you're letting these kids get you gassed up, Snoop, and I think you need to hear from someone who is closer to your own age, all right? Someone who isn't impressed by the fact that you can do this and talk and rhyme and talking about it. I'm not impressed by that, you know what I mean? It's cute, it's fun at a party, but I never spent any money on any of your material. I want you to know that. I never spent a dime on a concert or a cassette. I never, tuned in for it because you're just really not my cup of tea. I respect what you do, but I don't need it. And I am not everybody. And I respect the people who respect you so much that they call you Unc. They consider you to be someone that they can learn from. So while you're out here teaching young black men, can you please teach them to do something other than try to lord over the women around them? And really, you put your fucking foot in your ass with this one. Because trying to tell Ari Lennox that she needs to think about, what about growing our own hair? What about them days? You really, really, really were not paying attention. You weren't doing your research. You were showing young black men, hey, go ahead and talk up out of your ass without doing any research. Don't be educated. Just roll up on a woman in her space, say some stupid shit to ruin her day in the middle of a goddamn health pandemic when you should be thinking about your family. You picked the wrong bitch. And her hairline doesn't start at the top of her head like yours. Every successful black female right now is someone who is being championed by another successful female who is black right now, because that's the way we have to work. We have to support ourselves, because when we look around, we're constantly told, we're ugly, we're not enough, we're not it. And we're not the standard. We're not the most desirable. Even though our material, our ways of being, our ways of walking, our ways of talking are all over everybody's motherfucking money-making empire. We're the goddamn face on your syrup. Everybody and their mama's twerking right now. And that's just some shit that black girls did just because they could, because they felt like it, because it was in their spirit, because it was their way, and we just want to be. We just want to fucking be. So whatever we put on our heads is our fucking business, not yours. Mind yours. It's just that Jada was too soft on you. Oh God, Snoop, I was so surprised, Snoop. You don't remember that you were nothing but a bitch, a hoe, and a trick who needed to lick him from his toes to his dick, or whatever? You don't remember that, Jada? You were surprised, Jada? Whatever. Fuck you.